Valentine's Day. So you're like, hey, I want some romantic love. I need some loving. I need somebody to love up on me. And I want to just be real about that. What is going to take to find this love that we may be seeking, this partnership or this fine shit that's gonna come and take us out on Valentine's Day, if it's not around us, is maybe learn how to show up for who it is that we are and be the expression of that love that we seek. Because if I show up for you on a first date and you text me and I don't text you back in 5 minutes and you didn't text me 20 times in between that 5 minutes because I ain't text you back, we're not going on a second date. Because you let me know the relationship that you have with yourself that expresses through the relationships that you have with others. That's going to repel somebody like me. You know who it will attract, though? Somebody who's going to give you that same fucking energy. You hear people like, oh, they pissed in the dating pool. People who say that, they probably peed in it too. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you probably peeing it in a way where you don't even know that you peeing in the dating pool. Like, there's things that you may be contributing to that is making you look at only the things that you don't like. Who it is that I am is what reverberates in the world. What up, my friends, and welcome to The Friend Lab. We're your host and good friends, Bryce III.
And Liz McKean. And if you're here to cook up some friendship.
Keep that.
We know that it's hard to make friends, and it can be a challenge to keep friends and be a friend. So building connections in your life is something that you're looking to get better at. You're in the right place.
Friendship and connection and relationships of all kinds are the best kind of challenge. It's the thing that makes being a person worth being a person. We're excited to share our friendship with you.
So throw your lab coats on and let's get this experiment jumping. In the Friend Lab. What up, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Friend Lab podcast. We are your hosts, Bryce III.
Liz McKean.
Actually, I'm not Liz McKean, is what it says on Riverside. There's like a Liz McKean and a not Liz McKean. It's Liz's world.
It's Liz's world.
Yeah. If you're hearing this, it is either before or very close to Valentine's Day. So happy Love Day. Do they call it that?
If you're hearing this when we drop it, rather, right? Because if you're hearing it and it's like 2 years from now in December, then it's not.
Or if you're hearing it literally right now, like, how do you have those skills? I don't understand what's going on.
Get out of my house.
There's some shit going on with you that you could do that. That's so weird.
Ruh-roh.
Anyway,
Anyway, Valentine's Day is coming up. That's right. It's love month.
It's I feel like when you say it's love month, like you gotta say it like that. If you don't say it with that inflection, no. Definitely got to drop the video to this podcast because y'all got to see the face that Liz makes when she makes that voice.
I wasn't looking at my face. I'm going to. Look, I can't do it. Now I'm smiling.
Now you can't even do it no more.
I can't do it. No, I don't even know what I did. But I kind of
like
So
a lot of times when Valentine's Day comes up, I know me, so it's funny. One of my first reps that I remember was I only remember like the first 2 bars at this point, but I had to have been like 13. And they go, February 14th, newsflash, Cupid's been shot, 2 bullets in his ass, suspect black male seen running away with a smile on his face and a gun on his waist. And then I proceeded to like tell this story like that. It was semi-made up, but also like semi-rooted in reality. And it, as a kid, especially the young kid, like 12, 13, you fuck love and all this other shit. You know?
Oh, I took that very sexually. I took that as like very.
Whoa. I'm so confused. I'm so confused.
I feel like we shouldn't air this part, but like,
no, we're
so
airing
like
it.
In the 2 shots in the ass, and then when the gun's around his waist, like I wasn't considering that like a like bang gun, but I don't know. It could just be because I'm a little perv over here.
I guess you are. I guess you are. I mean, before we got on camera, I'm about to. So I got a hat, and it's like a cat hat with like 2 cat ears. And Liz gonna ask me, "Is that a pussy hat?" And I'm like, "Oh, like a pussy cat?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I mean, sure, if you call cats pussy." And then she proceeded to like, it was to tell you now. You got to tell the story about the hat.
Well, oh my gosh, I don't know why I'm so genital focused today. So it's when Roe versus Wade was overturned and we took to the streets, and I know people were crocheting the pussy hats, and now I'm really doubting my brain because I always thought they were meant to look like actual like vulvas, but they never really looked like that to me, so I was a little confused, except for I guess there was like a fold. But anyway, I didn't have one, so maybe I didn't get a good enough look. But now I'm thinking, were they actually like pussy cats, and it was, or using the play on words? I don't think so. I don't know. But they did have like the points on either side, like yours does. So that was my. And now I have said vulva on our podcast.
That's exactly why I teed you up. I needed to tee you up
Oh,
for that to happen. Now we've made
man.
a history.
I know, we've talked about, let's butt sex and
Well,
vulvas, and
hey, this is the best episode ever.
I tell ya, we're just gonna get to we might end up on the wrong side of the internet with this
So
one.
speaking of Valentine's Day, yeah. So
Love month.
I think it's a good idea for our podcast and the conversations that we have here to really dig into the different types of love that exist. A lot of times, especially around this time when you talk about Valentine's Day, romantic love is the love that's on everybody's mind. I need a partner. I need somebody to be able to take out on Valentine's Day. I need somebody to dig into and be consumed by this consumer's holiday
Mm.
for. But there's so many other types of love. There's so many other types of love. I did the thing that podcast hosts do, and I Googled Valentine's Day and different types of love. This was not in the plans. I'm looking at it right now. I had this idea for a podcast last week, but we ain't get the opportunity to sit down. I was just going to freestyle it wholeheartedly, but we're going to add this element of what are other people talking about when they're talking about like the different types of love. So there's this article I'm looking at by Holly Lebowitz Rossi. I hope I'm saying their name right. And it was the first thing that popped up. And they say that there's 4 types of love. It's called 4 types of love to celebrate on Valentine's Day. And the first being affectionate love. So, affection is a powerful kind of love. It's the kind of love we feel for our friends. In our affectionate relationships, we see and accept each other for who we are, appreciate our strengths, and support each other through challenges. Then you have self-love.
Mm.
Self-love is not selfishness nor narcissism. It is showing love, compassion, and gentleness to ourselves, and the foundation of a positive life. Then we have unconditional love. Okay, this Arthur is starting to lose me a little bit. Unconditional love is perhaps the goal of all the other types of love. In unconditional love, we're accepting, non-judgmental, curious, and welcoming to fully authentic versions of our beloved.
Couldn't
Okay.
any of those have been unconditional? Like,
Yeah,
that feels like
that's what
the
I'm thinking.
category is, yeah,
That's what I'm
imperfect.
feeling, but maybe this is just the indication that, like, that love is a non-linear conversation, and
Oh,
we're
true
gonna
that.
turn it over to Liz and Bryce here in a minute. But the fourth
Oh.
one this author put is romantic love, and I'll link this article in the podcast description. But romantic love is a profound combination of physical attraction and emotional connection. At its best,
Mhm.
it is unconditional love and involves two people who each love and value themselves as well. Blah 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 blah. So they got romantic love, affectionate love, self-love, and unconditional love as 4 different types of categories of love. What do you feel
Affectionate
about
love
that,
sounds
Liz?
like she's saying friend love, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like
Yeah.
and I'm not really into this categorization, but it's still a good conversation
Well, let's
starter,
talk about
so
it. Let's talk about it. What kind of love well, first of all, what do you so you your summary is you not digging these categories how this author had set them up?
No, I just feel like it's a little it's like there's yeah. I mean, well, I also don't think it's as love is as neat as you could be like, here are the 4 categories, because it's more of a spider web of multiple diagrams rather than, just, like, here are the in my brain. Um, it could also be argued that, like, love is love, and it's but yeah, so yeah, I think
I love
it's
how
really
you
hard for it not to be
argue
flawed.
what your brain says in your brain. Like you've got your point, but you've also got the
It's the
counterpoint
round
loaded
table.
up.
It's a lot of
Yeah.
conversation happening in here all the time.
The committee of Liz's
Yeah.
inside of Liz's
Yeah.
head, including the not Liz's that are in there. Like, well, actually, counter to that.
I know. I object. Yeah. What is your take?
I don't know. I think I've had a continuously evolving relationship with love.
Mm-hmm.
I think I think I think unconditional love is a thing. I also don't think it's a category as in something that like just exists or is just like a natural experience. Um I find really and truly like the biggest love of them all is the unconditional one. And that's the one that can transcend like anything that I even share with anybody. Like that's the one that can lean spiritual. I feel like when we do in meditation, like meta practice, when we do like vipassana, where it's like this now, it's like allowing for things to be what they are, regardless of what I want them to be, and like that feels like love to me.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a new development probably within the last 8 or so years. But when I was young, like a kid, the rap I just told that was not Liz's interpretation, but that's a really new way to look at that first rap. I
I'm here to
you
interpret
know,
any songs that you'd like. Bring them my way. I'm here all week.
I felt like love was something that was inaccessible. I felt like love was something that I thought like wasn't meant for me. Um, I mean, being black is a weird experience, so like I think there's some love stuff wrapped in that, and this is somebody who like I just posted like there's still ways that black is weird. You know what I'm saying? Like I just posted a item on eBay, and every time people ask for like extra pictures in the message, I make sure if I'm sending extra pictures not to have like my hand, just because like
Oh,
people treat people different when they find out they black and they buying from them. It's just been
okay.
my experience. Like people think that oh, that's why this is such a good price because they stole it, or it just gets weird. Um, and so like I'll crop out, so to make sure that hey, I could be a guy named Chet in Arkansas, just compiling a whole bunch of items I don't use, and you'd be glad to pay whatever it is I ask
Good
for.
old Chet.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean, coming up with that, like self love was not one of the first conversations I had with love. One of the first conversations I had with love was like looking for it, like
Mm,
where is it? I'm watching these shows, and I don't mean like my wife, like she has this representation of like love because she watched all these rom coms. And like all these Hallmark movies, and it's like, oh, like not the Handbook, the Notebook is one of the most toxic fucking movies I've ever seen in my life. And that was her reference point. Like, bro asked for a date and said, I will fall off of this Ferris wheel if you don't give me a date, even though you're with your boyfriend. But anyways, I digress. Um, for me, the stuff I watched was stuff like Home Alone. I came up in the '90s, so like you had Macaulay Culkin, Jonathan Taylor Thomas. It was always with like they in this house with like dad and mom, and they always like are treated with like main character energy, and I didn't experience that, and I really longed for that, and so
mhm,
that was probably my first like like Russell with like, oh, there's something that exists that I'm not experiencing, and
mm.
where can I find it at? And then you go to school, and I'm looking for people to I don't know. You start feeling away, start having crushes, and I was a chubby kid, and for me, like chubby meant not, the way. And so
Mhm,
the whole thing with coming up into that's how you get the rap that I came up with, So at
mhm,
first, I think love for me was a tumultuous experience, but I
mhm.
am going to pass the mic over to you, Liz, because I'm curious as to what you think about, the things I've shared, and as well as like what has been, what was some of your earliest reference points for what love is?
Um, can I ask you a question first?
Sure.
He says enthusiastically. Do you remember did anyone say I love you, or did you say I love you in your house at all when you were growing up? Was that
My
said?
mom,
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
sure. Yeah, me and my
Yeah.
mom. Me and my mom, she was my reference point for what love is, for sure.
Mm. Yeah.
You just literally unlocked a core memory that I haven't thought about. This thing has been happening recently where like something will happen. It's like, oh shit, I remember that, or I remember this used to be the case. But she used to drop me off at Latchkey, which was where I would go before again, they would bus me to school from there. And I used to not being I used to not like being left there, but what she'd do is she'd drop me off, and then there was this window that was by like the driveway where you would leave out. So she'd drop me off, I'd run to the window, and then she would drive by the window, and it was like this combination of like hand signs that we used to do. It was like I forget the hand signs. I wonder if she remember, but it was like butterfly kisses with the eyelashes. It was something where it was like we say I love you in hand language in the window,
Cute.
and then she
Isn't
would
like this I love you?
yeah, something
That
like that.
yeah.
I gotta
Yeah.
ask her, not because she probably do not remember. She don't remember what happened last week now, but Imma ask her. But yeah, like she was always my reference point for not only l l the fact that I'm cared for and loved
Mhm.
in the midst of all the other shit that was going on, which was showing me the opposite. And I think like, if it was a pie chart, like, you know, as far as like actual experiences, that would be like 10%,
Mhm.
20%, and the rest of life would be like 80%, like, oh, like you're not loved.
Mm.
But as far as impact, I'm talking about instances, but as far as impact, that 20% was like enough to hold me down and make me understand my
Mhm.
worth. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Um, so the short answer is yes.
Yeah. And that feels to me like unconditional love, which in my experience has been the easiest one. And I'm not saying that you take this for granted, but like for me, it's always been the one that's been the easiest to take for granted. Because I think back to growing up and I mean, I don't know how much we said I love you. I remember I remember I decided at one point that I heard somewhere that you should tell the people you love them because they could just die at any moment. I'm sure I probably heard this in some kind of like church thing where it was just like people are going to die, so you better tell them you love them. So I went home and I was like, "We're going to start saying I love you." And started saying it rather aggressively. I think I kind of do that to this day with like family. But before that, I mean, I knew that my parents loved me, I knew I loved them. I was instructed to love my brother and sister, so I did, even though I was a kid and, I hated them, they're so mean, and they take my stuff, and they ruin things, and, um, so there was, like, a lot of required love, I remember growing up. I had a complicated relationship with it because also we were, raised we don't have to go into a whole religion conversation, but I was raised Catholic for part of my life, but my dad is not. He was raised Jewish and came to he was just like whatever you want to do to my mom for my mom to raise us. So we were raised, we went to church for a lot of my childhood, which is a very confusing experience looking back on it. But like a lot of that message was like, you must love everyone. And so I remember coming home and being like, this little boy, I remember his name was Joey. Don't know what his last name was, so I can't, malign him here. Um, would like do mean things. He would push me. He would like take my glue and eat it. Like, just stupid stuff like that. And then I remember my mom would tell me that, I have to love him. And I was like, ugh, he eats glue. He's disgusting. He's a jerk, and I'm very confused about the fact that. And so then I remember being very ashamed anytime I felt like I didn't want to love somebody because I don't know. I was always really confused about the requirement of love in general.
Mm,
And it never even occurred to me that I love my friends, even though looking back, I mean, I did. And I think the only aside from, like, saying I love you to my parents, being required to love all of humanity, especially the mean ones, and then being confused in that way, I think I still was just like, love is when you are chosen by a partner and, like, they give you flowers and tell you they love you. And that was what I was waiting for and looking for and felt deprived of for
Hmm.
childhood. So it's so interesting, but that is like so based on the semantics of it. Sorry, I'm getting lost in my whole brain about this right now. Um, and I think there's also just such a absolute bottomless pit of privilege that I come from even saying any of that because I was just fucking loved, unconditionally loved. I just people that were there for me. And I didn't even have to be aware of that to just live, like swim in that water. And regardless of what the words were for that, the truth was just there. And it's been interesting as an adult to be more of a scientist around it.
Mm,
Um, and
yeah.
I'm so grateful that now I have language to tell the people I love how much I love them. I'm so grateful that
Yeah.
I had the absolute, like, just the cushion to grow into that, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah. 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 That experience of being told that you have to love somebody that as a kid, like you're repulsed by,
Mhm.
I would imagine would be a confusing experience as to like what the connotation of love is.
Mhm.
And I see what somebody would say that for, especially like if you look in a religious sense, because I lean spiritual with love to allow for like the cessation of suffering from passionate love, because passion is like a fire. It can hold me down in the middle of winter, and it could also burn this bitch down
Mhm.
very
Mhm.
quickly. And as a uh, recovering addict, I am a very passionate person. I can be very lit up in ways that if not looked at, and there's no awareness around it, can cause for just weird shit, just
Mhm.
weird shit. When it comes to like spirit for me, yeah, sure, like glue butt Joey or whatever the fuck. Like this is a person that exists. I don't like I don't like this person like that. It's really, to be honest with you, uh, I, I'm trying to figure out the next best words because this is gonna be a weird one.
Honestly, rewind the tape. We've gotten so far past
This
weird.
is
Dive
gonna
into the
be a
weird.
weird one. So, in I'm not even gonna say the combination of words for y'all get on here and get the clipping audio and being weird with it, but there's love that I have for the world, and the world includes all of the things in the world. And when I think about, and this is really from a spiritual lens, like the love that I have for the world allows for me to not be, sorry, it allows for me to not be impacted by a Donald Trump.
Mhm.
Because I like love in the spiritual sense for me is to allow. And what that does is it brings about the cessation of me wanting to change what things are. And therefore, like it gives me armor. So like
Mhm.
love is literally my armor as well as my weapon when it comes to what it is that I spread, as well as what protects me from it, from
Mhm.
from from things that aren't rooted in love, right? So somebody could twist that up and say, "Oh, you love Donald Trump," and it's like I don't not practice having love for anything.
Mhm.
Because in the spiritual sense, there's an element of resentment and disdain. Like there's pieces of that like weigh on my heart. And if my heart
Mhm.
weighed down, you don't have that power over me.
Mhm.
Nobody has that power over me. You know? And
Mhm.
so I lead with love, I lead with grace, I lead with compassion. And there's often times where I find that, hey, I lied. And so I sat in grace and understanding and compassion for self within that lie. And then I use that healthy level of embarrassment to encourage me to not lie anymore, because the reason I feel embarrassed about it is because it doesn't align with my values. But what that does is that opens up the opportunity for me to, when somebody may lie to me or lie in front of me or lie in a big way, it's like, oh, damn, like I lied too. And so it doesn't hurt me as much and I don't take it as personal.
Mm.
Uh, but that's a whole different type of love that most people are talking about on Valentine's Day, and even when I'm talking about, when you talking about coming up and for Glue Butt Joey, and I'm talking about coming up for like the other 80% of the world, like the household that I came up in, and I'm told I'm to this, or I'm what's a weird thing that was said to me in the household, and this was like, I've seen a lot of shit, but like this shit like really impacted me in a way that I still think about that shit sometimes. Bro was like, why you folding your pizza like that? That's how fat people eat their pizza. And like, I
It's
have
amazing the
never
things
let
that
that
stick with
shit
us.
go.
Yeah.
I have never let that shit go. And now I fold my pizza twice. Every time I eat a slice, I fold it 3 times. Fuck you. Fuck you,
Yeah. Fuck
buddy.
you.
But no,
Tell me how to eat my
but
goddamn
no. But
pizza.
it's just like, hey. And then now that I have the ability to have the lens to look through love, like there's ways I can show up for that experience and uh heal it retroactively in the way to like,
Mhm.
oh, if he talking to me like that, like I could just imagine what's going on in his mind and his heart about
Mhm.
himself. If you
Mhm.
paying attention to somebody so hard that you worried about how they fold their pizza, bro, you do not like you. Do you know?
Mhm.
And so, yeah. And I think maybe like, I'm speaking of compassion, but I don't know. At the end of the day, for me, especially recently, there's been like love, spiritual love, and then it's been like love. Okay, how do I show up? Because then there was the love where it was like, okay, I'm super passionate, so passionate, my nose is wide open, and I'm deep in it, and like I'm just in it, and then into recovery, and now there's awareness, and I'm
Mhm.
looking at things, and I'm being aware of things, and I can see how things you said that aren't really personal, but I could tell you mad or you, and same here, and it's like I don't want to affect you in this way because like I love you, and love is a practice, and not just this feeling that I feel, and then things change, and you get your heart broke. And then it's like, okay, I'm super aware, and I'm so aware that I can see it. And not everybody is in an imaginary play, but I'm above that imaginary play, and I won't be impacted in that way anymore. So I can't subscribe to the social constructs of relationship and you belonging to me and me belonging to you and da da da. And then that felt like a stainless steel kitchen. Like, this is too sterile. I'm human. So like, how can I have the experience of like loving and being loved,
Mhm.
and also have the experience of having the all-consuming compassionate love for what is, for the times when the person who loved me in this way no longer loves me in that way, or for the ways when like, hey, I really was like this here, but I changed my mind and I want to be like this here,
Mhm.
and that's a practice, buddy. That's a practice.
It is. It makes me think of that story. I'm sure you've heard it. We've probably even talked about it before. Where I don't know where this comes from. I feel like I've heard it talked about as like a teacher told his class or whatever, but it's probably something far more ancient than that. Where the whole thing was like, I'll do it in the teacher sense. The teacher asked the students, like, I'm holding a cup of coffee. You bump into me. Coffee fell out of my cup. Like why did I spill coffee? And the students are like, because you got bumped into. He's like, "No, it's because there's fucking coffee in my cup." So, like, if it's that work that allows you to have an awareness and intentionality about, like, what's in you, like, what's in your heart, because you're gonna get bumped, like, you're gonna get impacted. We're human. We are so fucking human, and if and when we get bumped, what's gonna come out? Because it's not the bump that we gotta worry about. Bumps are gonna happen. It's making sure we're filled up with the stuff that we want to come out, and, you see that happening now. I mean, talk about the politics of it all. Like, honestly, you see what's happening in Minnesota and on a lot of these streets where people are just showing up for each other in a way that is like my human body cannot even contain the feelings of just love and admiration for the love that people are showing each other, and they don't have time to hate anybody. You know what I mean? Like, they don't have space. They don't have the energy for that. And the people that they are fighting, like, it's like they're not they're not worth that energy, you know? So it's like, we don't have time to hate you. We're just gonna take care of each other in a way that is so fucking beautiful. And like, you can see it, that they're getting bumped and bumped and bumped. And what is coming out is more and more and more love, love, love. Like, what can I do for this neighbor? What can I do for you? And it's just like, how can this body be used for good, for peace, for love? And that's what's coming out when people are getting bumped. Because, you know, at the end of the day, I really think that's what is just inherently in us. And when it becomes the other stuff that, you know, we're also seeing, like, that is also was intentionally put there. But I think what we can do, you know, as far as what you were talking about in that, like, self work, is just it starts with a decision, you know, and then and an understanding that we're going to get bumped. So let's make sure that we are filled with stuff that when it comes out, it's going to be of service, and we're going to be proud of it. And even if things don't go the way we want them to go, you know, we can look back and know that, like, that's the person that I want to be or remembered
Yeah.
as or whatever.
Yeah. Um, I think you and I are both very
Go ahead.
dynamic. Yeah, well, yeah, definitely. Definitely that. Me and my pussy hat. Um, when I say it, it don't feel right.
No, it's weird.
You said it. I'll just repeat what you said. But like, I'm sure like it's Valentine's Day, so you like y'all are probably like, I mean, you all are the listeners to the show, and I'm sure a lot of you are as dynamic as we are.
And quirky.
And you're like, hey, I want some romantic love. I need some loving.
Mm-hmm.
I need somebody to love up on me. And I want to just be real about that. One of the most interesting experiences I've had when it comes to like romantic or interpersonal relationship is when I split with my kid's mom, who I was with since I was 14, you know, 14, 15, and, you know, active addiction, inner recovery. We talking 16, 17, 18 years.
Mm-hmm.
And then we decided mutually that t I know for me, as my understanding of love evolved, it was like, hey, the way I love this person is to like leave,
Mm-hmm.
is to go. Uh, and then in hindsight, you know, and I haven't told the story in a while, but like I think to also integrate, it's like I was also learning how to love me.
Mm-hmm.
You know, at that point, especially the super immersed in recovery, where it's like my side of the street, I had white knight syndrome, where it's like I'm going to leave and give this person space to da da da, which could also be called saviorism. But that person is always going to do whatever it is that they're going to do, regardless of what you do.
Mm-hmm.
I was learning how to love myself. Like, hey, I think there's more for me. I think there's a more aligning place. I didn't know how to say that, and I think it would have felt selfish for me to say that just because of all the ways that, you know, she had shown up for me and helped formed like who it is that I was becoming. Like I don't know if I would have had the space or even the conversation around recovery if it wasn't for her, you
Mm-hmm.
know?
Mm-hmm.
And so left that relationship. Then like then COVID happened, so like that's weird. So I'm single, newly in COVID, and that was a weird time. And I remember this one instance where it was this one girl that I was kind of like, I don't know what I was doing. But I remember this was like the first time like I'm texting somebody, and we going back and forth. And I remember it was like a moment. We was supposed to meet up, and then we didn't meet up. She changed her mind at the last minute, and who knows what was going on. And then after that, the communicate. Well, actually, we met up, and when we met up, I was still like, you know, she was kind of like hugged up on me. And that was new and weird for me. And so I'm like, you know, I'm trying to figure it out. Maybe I'm now looking back, maybe she was trying to sense that I was trying to figure this out. And so after that, like the communication was weird a little bit,
Mm-hmm.
where I would text and usually she'd hit me right back, but she didn't. And I remember that feeling I felt. Like, why you not texting me back? Why did you cancel last night? Why? Like, why? One, like, you owe me an explanation. Two, don't you see what you're doing to me? I thought we was better than that. Three, I don't know what three is. I just like threes. But it it was really like a chin check because I had just come out of a relationship that was a 16-year relationship that was formed since I was a kid with a person.
Mm-hmm.
Our level of connection and communication was, even at its best, still attached, very much so. If I text you, answer me. If you text me, I answer you. You know, and that was my only reference point for like interacting in a romantic sense. And now I'm here, and it's like, I just remember like dying a bit, like the kid in me growing up in a way where it's like, oh, you know, now I'm not the best texter. Like now I'm not the best texter. But I remember then it was like, if you text me, I'll text you back. But I text you, you better text me back because that means you don't care.
Mm.
What is going to take to find this love that we may be seeking, this partnership or this fine shit that's going to come and take us out on Valentine's Day, if it's not around us, is maybe learn how to show up for who it is that we are and be the expression of that love that we seek, that romantic love that we seek. Because if I show up for you on a first date and you text me and I don't text you back in 5 minutes, and you didn't text me 20 times in between that 5 minutes because I ain't text you back, we're not going on a second date. Because you let me know the relationship that you have with yourself that expresses through the relationships that you have with others. That's going to repel somebody like me. You know who it will attract, though? Somebody who's going to give you that same fucking energy. You know? And now you hear people like, oh, they pissed in a dating pool. There's this pee-pee in a dating pool. You ever heard that before?
No.
I always feel like that's, like, people who say that, they probably peed in it too. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you probably peeing it in a way where you don't even know that you peeing in a dating pool. Like, there's things that you may be contributing to that is making you look at only the things that you don't like. And when it comes to romantic love, I think all this other love that we was talking about, I think that's why me and Liz dug deep into it. And I think that's why we're so like focused and centered in that way, is because there's an awareness that who it is that I am is what reverberates in a world. And when I am something that reverberates in a world, then that attracts what it is that's similar to that, or it repels things that aren't. And I'm okay repelling the things that don't belong around me. I'm okay with that. So if you don't have a this Valentine's Day, I need you to really sit in the fact that ain't got shit to do with you. You are desirable. You are beautiful. You are gorgeous. There is somebody out there in the world that is going to treat you like the king, queen, or no king or queen, non-identical, whatever it is that you are. But it also has everything the fuck to do with you. Because who you are is what you, I'm not going to say who you are is what you attract. I'm going to say how you show up in the world is what fertilizes the soil that grows the fruit that you eat.
How you show up in the world is what fertilizes the soul that grows the fruit that you eat. Whew! Okay, I'm with you.
So keep fertilizing that soil. If there ain't no fruit this Valentine's Day, that's okay. Go get you a chocolate-covered strawberry. Don't nobody like them goddamn edible arrangements anyway. It's all honeydew. I like honeydew, by the way. I love honeydew.
Oh,
But,
not
you
a
know,
melon girl. I like all the non-melon chocolate-covered things.
get yourself some fruit. Don't worry about the fruits. Worry about seeding the soil. Worry about fertilizing your environment and who you are and your spirit and your soul for healthy, genuine connections. And now you the landing strip for that plane. That plane coming. It's just in the sky circling, trying to figure out where to land.
Yeah. And, you know, what you said earlier about, like, The Notebook and just, you know, Hallmark movies and all that stuff, like, those are fun to watch, but, like, it really has screwed up our brains to watch
They're
that
fun to watch.
performance
They're
of
not
love.
fun to live.
No, I mean, because that kind of, like, feeling only comes when there's, like, a lot of drama, and, like, that I can't handle that kind of drama in real life, certainly not for like a extended period of time. But then it's wild because it's also easy to be in relationships. Like, I mean, whether it's, I'll just speak for myself, like I'm my marriage, and we'll watch a movie where it's just like, so it's just, the love, the drama,
Liz
the
only watches Hallmark Channel exclusively. I need you all to know this.
it's not exclusive. Also like 90s and early 2000 rom-coms. Um Anyway, and then you can look, and by you I mean me, I can look at my partner who I love and who loves me dearly in our, sweatpants and our faces covered in crumbs of whatever we've just been shoving in our face while we're watching this thing. Um and be like, ew, like what the hell? Like why don't I get that? Like, I want that feeling. Like I want that feeling like, oh my God, you're so this so isn't it? And then when my real brain comes back online, it's like, "Oh, no, this is it. This is it. This is
Mm.
it. This is, like, it. This is, like, jackpot it." And also there's times that it is dramatic in a way that is not awesome, but, like,
And there's times
maybe
where it's dramatic
challenge
in a
that
way that is
picture.
awesome.
Yeah, but I just think, challenging the picture in our head of what we think it's supposed to be is easier said than done. But and then I also think of, again, just the amount of people that love me and love you and love, that are just that are easy to just set aside as like, well, okay, I got that, but I'm missing this. And it's like, but you
Mhm.
got that.
Yeah.
So anyway, and at the end of the day, we'll be your Valentine.
Gratitude, appreciation. Another thing I thought about that my mom did, she used to give us Valentine's Day baskets, like the
Cute.
Easter
Oh,
one.
like Easter Bunny.
Yeah, but it just would be like I wake up for school and
Aw.
like it'd be like a tape.
How
Man,
cute.
I'm getting seasoned because I'm gonna say tape and people are like, oh what? A VHS tape, people. One of the VHS tapes I got for Valentine's Day, or was that Easter? I don't know, but it was my friend Martin. If anybody listening to this show and remember that VHS tape, it was about a kid who travels back in time and befriends Martin Luther King Jr. as a
Ah,
kid, and then they become like really good friends. And he tries to warn them about what happens, but then the kid, I'm just told you the movie, but it's a really good movie. But yeah,
wow.
like my mom was like a reference point for like being cared for. My granny great
Mm,
was a reference point for like being cared for. My granny was a reference point for being cared for. And the thing about love and care, like you were saying, Liz, like you said it so eloquently that I don't think I've never been able to say it in that way. But it's like we're so busy loving each other, we don't got time to hate you. I don't have the resolve nor the resources to want to like put energy towards despising you. I'm spending time figuring out how to love the people I care about.
mm,
That's what's important.
yeah.
And so I think about my granny or my granny great or my mom, Miss Audrey and Latchkey, or like all the other people that showed up for me. And then like that, there's an exponential quality to that love that canceled out all the other bullshit.
Mm,
When I sit in love, like the love feel way bigger than the hate. And even the hate feel like misplaced the people who don't know how to embrace the journey of like loving themselves. Like it don't feel like
mhm,
hate towards me. My name was Bob or Jim. You would have did the same thing to them.
mm, yeah. Yeah, it almost feels like love is personal and hate is not.
It does feel that way. It
Wow.
does feel that way. Even
It
even those people who get like, because I know some people around me that are like really passionate about like hating the person right now, like hating a specific person who is divisive in this country. I don't like him. I don't
yeah,
hate
fuck
him,
that guy.
you know? I don't hate him because
But you know
nobody
what
gets
that
that
hate
from me.
is? It's just a word that means you are hurting people I love. You know what I mean? Like, so it really all comes,
It could
which is
be a
what I
word that means I'm lacking love. I'm lacking love. I saying I hate you is not like I hate you. It's
mm,
that you're creating an environment that's making it hard for me to like thrive.
yeah.
You're
You and I have a
contributing.
different relationship with the word hate. I'm more comfortable with it than you are.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, I don't even say it. Like I don't even say it.
Yeah.
It feels like poison. No, it feels like this will be a great analogy. you know the bridge in Paris or like any bridge with a gate on it, how people go and put a lock on there and like
Mhm.
etch their initials in it to like mark their love.
And they throw the key in the river?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Hate feels like the opposite lock, but on my heart.
Mm.
You don't get that weight. You don't. And recovery showed me that because when I came into recovery, like, and I came through 12 step and I'm doing my inventory for the first time, like I'm really seeing how many locks I had on my shit.
Mm,
And
yeah.
I'm doing shit that's crazy and wild. Meanwhile, I'm literally like I'm genuinely feeling like I'm just this way because of that.
Mm,
And it's
mhm.
like, no, bro, like you this way because you did that thing. Like you
Yeah.
you did that. You gotta own up for that. Yes, that sucks that that happened, but you doing this now is you doing this now. And then
Mm,
if I look at it like that, like there's a lot of ways that the shit might have happened to the person who did that to me that put the lock on my shit. And it's like, when is the lock's gonna be broken? When we gonna
mhm.
break the chain? So this
Yeah.
shit stopped with me. A lot of people come to me and I can see it in their face, like, this shit stop with me, big dog. Like this ain't going
Mhm.
no further than me because I'm not holding on to it. Even
Yeah.
when holding space for the people I really love, I hold space for my friends with like a dustpan with a hole in it. I can't hold your stuff because if I hold your stuff now, it's on me, but I can hold space for you to let your stuff out.
Yeah.
I don't even know you, and you cussing me out, middle fingers in a row. I'm not about to hold on to that, bro. Like, all
Mhm.
right, cool. You
No,
got it.
'cause it doesn't belong to you. Yeah. Yeah, it's interesting. This is a really, I mean, this is an interesting time to be having this conversation because there is just so much conversation about hate, and also I just, like I said, see people showing up with such love, and a lot of the people showing up with love are saying I hate them, but like the actions they're doing are love. What's in them, what's pouring out of them, the coffee that's within their cup is love. So they are saying I fucking hate that. I hate you. I hate what you're doing. I hate this fucking like pain that's being caused, and it is hitting, it's bumping me, but what's pouring out is love. And I think that's for me, like, how I get comfortable with that word. Like, I can say that, I can hear people say that and be like, I'm with you, because what's pouring out is like this action that's happening is so love based, like I don't want, like, the answer to what's happening isn't hurting somebody. It's like you don't hurt. It's how do we wrap our arms around each other as we're being hurt. And I
Yeah.
there's so much that language gets in the way, I think, of what the energy is around it. So if we're using language, either of us, that's like bumping your cup, I hope you know that, like, we're it's all with the intention is very
And hopefully we have the
loving.
rapport that uh, that it's always gonna be all love here. Even when we challenge at the friend lab, we challenge as your friend. And that's the beautiful thing about having people that you trust. Like we challenge as a friend. So if you feel challenged, I hope you take time to like investigate what that is because
Mhm.
it's all love here. It's always been all love.
Yeah. And we're not gonna
Um,
get it right every time either, we're just fucking people
yeah,
over here.
I don't even do rights and wrongs. I'm just doing me right now. I think it's a thin line
Look
between
who's
love
singing
and hate.
now.
It's a thin line between love and hate. I always feel like in hate there's love. I always feel like that because like there's passion in it. Like if I don't care, I don't care. But if I hate you, like anytime I've ever felt somebody hate you, like there's love involved.
Mm,
Like I hate you means like, hey, I really am missing something here. I wish there was love in this space. And I'm just talking about my experience. I wish there was love in this space. Like there's a couple of people that in my life I hated. And it's like, damn, I just wish like you cared about me or I was seen or I was loved and not even you, just like that I felt what it is that I feel like other people are feeling here. And you're
mhm,
contributing to the opposite of that for me. So fuck you. I hate you. You know? Or like, somebody who like moves weird. Once I get to hating somebody, it's like, you got me. I'm on a string. You know, I'm 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 on a string. But once I can sit with that and practice like releasing that and allowing for people to be who they are, one, I'm allowed to be who I am. And if I feel those feelings that feel similar to hate, then that's okay.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's okay for you to be you, because I'm practicing that, And in the midst of that, like, who do I become? I become a person whose heart is softer and bigger and can allow for more people in, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I feel like that's a whole nother conversation. You know how we do. We usually don't hang around for no longer than an hour. I think we kind of get in there. Plus, you either got a date to go on because it's Valentine's Day. You planning your date, or you planning your self-care date where you're going to take care of yourself and eat some popcorn and watch some Hallmark movies, or you're going to dig your claws into the fact that this is a consumer's holiday. It's not even real. So do you even really need to participate? And you're always loved anyway. So you don't need the data to celebrate the love that you really are, because you are an exemplification and an example of what love is incarnate. But whatever your experience may be, I think I speak for both of us, but I'm gonna let Liz speak too when I say that I'm glad that you spent this time with us.
Yeah, I am too. And I love these I love that we could just go into just 100 different directions. I mean, let's think about the credibility we established in the beginning of this podcast when we talked about the ridiculous thing we did, and then diving into, I don't know, romantic love, unconditional love, love of humanity, society, hate. We got politics in there. Like, my goodness, do we contain multitudes? And it's spilled right on out in these microphones. And for you who is listening, I mean, all the love to you, because that's, yeah, this is a relationship at this point, I feel like. And Bryce the third, I just love you dearly.
I love you too, Liz. I love you too.
Wasn't sure where you were going to go with that.
Yeah,
I knew it either way, but thank
yeah,
you.
yeah, yeah. I remember the first time I felt the need to say it.
No, you don't, because I told you that story the other day,
It
and you were
wasn't
like,
at
I
the
don't
hotel.
remember
It wasn't at
that.
the hotel.
It was, yeah.
Well, maybe I remember it because you've reminded me, but
Okay,
still, I
so you do
remember it.
remember it now.
Yeah, but I know that I felt that before that, and
Yeah,
I know
yeah.
I've had like interactions, and I have like long-standing relationships that maybe I haven't said that, and I haven't felt the need to,
Yeah.
but like I've expressed it in a way, you know.
Mm.
So even if you don't hear it, know that
Was it?
there's some love that exists for you, you know.
Yeah. No, I agree, 100%. Yeah, because when you said that, I was like, I love you too. Was it the day with the mango, or was that a different trip? Might have been after that trip, or before that trip.
All right, we're gonna let you guys go. We will catch you on the next episode of the Friend Lab. Have a wonderful Valentine's Day. Know that you are loved. Know that you are loved. And know that love is so many things, and that you are all of them.
True dat.
Catch you next time.